I don't know.
The following live stream may include adult language and themes. How could we know for sure? Hasn't happened yet. Anyway, viewer discretion is advised. JK, not everybody's here tonight, so we're using a different overlay. Hey!
Bingo, bango, bongo. Hey, everybody. Welcome in, adventurers. Welcome to this week's episode of Ascensia, where I'm joined with two of my favorite people to play Dungeons and Dragons with, Erika and Margaret. How are you two doing this lovely evening?
Pretty
Great.
good.
All right.
I'm so
Well,
excited.
last session we're traversing this dungeon that just sort of manifested itself in the shade swamps of the Shadowfell. It responded first to Odessa, and Odessa responded right back and went inside. And lo and behold, this dungeon manifested this room that was an echo from Odessa's past. And there was some attempting to solve puzzles. There was also a lot of anger and frustration. Vigo got separated, but the party didn't know he got separated, but they did know he got separated, but they didn't really know he got separated. And he was off by himself.
We don't know when,
And then,
but now we know.
but now you know. When Odessa finally burned her way through this room, we then moved into a part of the dungeon that manifested in a way that was reminiscent of a part of Demetra's past, and the party pushed forward while real Vigo was off by himself dealing with some emotional trauma, and fake Vigo was sowing seeds of discontent, or at least trying to. And then there was another puzzle and some monologuing, and it resulted in a lot of just frustrated feelings that bubbled up. And Zenalia, being the empathetic character that she is, saw this in Odessa and offered to do what? I don't need to exposition that part. You guys can
Yeah.
speak for yourselves. Welcome in.
Hello. Xeni offered to Odessa. She was like, "Would it make you feel better if we went back to that original room and went to see if your brother was still there? And then you could
Context
do what?"
being that the room was like, save him or some shit, or he implied that the solution was to save him when all she wants to do is beat him up. And so she didn't get to beat him up as part of the puzzle, and we don't like her brother. That's
Don't
the
like her
other
brother.
important part.
Oh, we were like, would it feel better to go back and beat him up retroactively now that we've saved him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
And
Vigo and
Vigo
Demetra
can't come.
were kicked out of Gary the tent, the magic
Mhm.
tent that we found a few sessions back.
Mhm.
And some time
That was
passed. Is
given
there
to me.
Yes, because by the very generous Count Vladislav, uh, who's the 90s sitcom dad version of Strahd. Um,
That's so true.
Yeah, like literally, that's like, what if Strahd, but a 90s sitcom? That was how I came up with that character.
Love that.
Yeah, he gifted that to you because he said you couldn't sleep in his house because you're hot tempered, literally.
I
Uh,
didn't know vampires were so afraid of fire. My bad.
yeah, it's all right. So the two of you are in Gary at the moment. Is there any conversation that you want to have here and now, or do we want to just skip ahead to sneaking out and trying to get back to this other room? The night is yours, so I want you
Mhm.
to get the most out of it.
That is up to you, Odessa.
I mean, I'm I'm cool with going straight to some action, but if you feel like Zenny would have asked her some questions while they waited for Demetra and Vigo to fall asleep, we can do that.
Fair. Um, I think like we left and Odessa was like pretty like in her feels in a way that she didn't feel like she wanted to talk very much.
Yeah,
And so I feel like Zenny would have also just sat there and been like, I'm here if
Quiet
you want to say anything.
contemplation.
I think so
Otherwise,
too, but I wanted you to decide. But she Odessa definitely wouldn't be initiating any conversation right
No,
now.
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
All right.
And I
Glad we
Zenny's like
all agree on how our characters behave.
Yeah.
Zenny's
So,
like still just repressed enough to not ask questions.
so the two of you are not taking a long rest. You do get the effects of a short rest,
Okay.
because we are sitting and engaging in quiet contemplation and whatnot. So you can tack that on. I don't know what got expended last session, but
Let's try this.
do with that what you will.
Okay.
And then the two of you creep out. Now, are we trying to sneak away, or do we want to just we're going to say that it's okay, you're allowed to sneak away because they're not here. I mean, what are you going to do if you wake them up?
Right.
Oh,
So,
that's fair. I was
all
like, if
right,
you need me, like I can
like I don't think stealth is either one of y'all's strong suits.
I
I
mean,
Uh,
am
I
a
have passed without a
healthy
trace
paladin.
and
oh
mystery.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
This
So
yeah.
is
I'm
But,
unwanted
right,
armor.
like, this is
because they're
just a
not actually.
given
Yeah,
that we're
I'm not.
sneaking
You're
past them.
going to
They're
get
sleeping
away. So
deeply.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the two of you creep out and you head back the direction that we came. And in order to do that, I'm going to need a history check.
Okay.
Ooh.
See if we remember.
All right.
It is also worth noting that we are in a dungeon that is manifested from the Shadowfell. I'm going to say that a couple times tonight. I anticipate. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm going to. Um, so it may not necessarily be in the same configuration.
Zenny got a 5, so she's
What same
Okay.
configuration, right? Yeah, we
Right.
we kind of anticipated that. My Adobe is not responding to my mouse, but
Ew.
I have a history of +6, which makes that a 23.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, with your I'll say that that probably also comes a little bit from your ranger
I was gonna
training. Maybe
say,
you're able to recognize the and remember the some of the marks.
I
It is
probably
worth
left
noting.
like flame arrow notches in the
Well, give
wall.
both of you give me perception checks. Zenalia, you can do yours with advantage.
Perception?
Yes, please.
That's a
A
plus
23.
9. You got a 23, I got a 22.
Nice.
So but then you will both make note of this, that there are portions of the dungeon, edges of columns or patches on the floor or on the wall that are pitch black, and the edges of the parts that are still visible almost kind of look like misty sort of threads. You can tell, spending a moment to just sort of look at it. I don't know if I'm doing a great job of describing that visually or not, but you
Mhm.
can get the sense that this black shadow mass,
Mhm.
almost like a liquid, almost like a gas. It is what this structure is made out of.
That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
passing back through these areas, the hallway that you were immediately in was manifested in a way that suggested the Bard's College from Demetra's past, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
You can still see elements of that, but now there are portions of it that are reflective of the barracks that Zenalia trained in
Ooh.
and the hall governance hallways at Karjid. So
Ooh.
imagine, that you're walking through this hall and there are like patches and spots that those other places are sort of bleeding into it.
Peeking through.
And the more that you walk, the more of these elements from your two pasts that
Mhm.
you see.
Weird. Okay.
Cool.
That's very fun.
Is it like an even half and half at some point? Like my side is the
Yeah, or are they
corruption
Um,
and
you know
blob?
what? I'm gonna let you imagine that however your whatever part in whatever way makes your brain scratchy the happiest. Because in my mind, it's probably like it
camouflage
mixes back and
patches.
forth, and like it's,
That's cooler. Just
but like
very wibbly wobbly,
you,
timey
Yeah,
wimey shit.
blobs in and
yeah.
out.
Uh, I don't know what context this was in. I think it had something to do with the questions that we asked last session.
Mhm.
But I wrote that this was what I wrote something for Zenalia. It was that the shadow fell reflects the truth of those who wander it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this space is drawing energy out of the two of you to
Yeah.
manifest, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Okay. Interesting. So this looks like a little different than before. I was kind of anticipating that we would just like back out into the Bard College, like make a right. Those like doors we burned through would be right there, but that's clearly not what's going on here.
Oh, you've got to learn to expect the unexpected, my friend.
Hmm. Yeah, it was very regimented. Like paladin training is very like respond to the like it's textbook, not not I imagine like what ranger training is like.
Oh, that's a great question. What kind I feel like I didn't get any kind of regimented training. It was mostly just a one-on-one situation with, um, yes,
You likely would have trained with members of, if you did like ranger training, like to
Mhm.
become a ranger, it would
right.
have been members of the Arisen, which is the Druid
Yes,
organization,
yeah, yeah,
Grove,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You use the term Grove, but Grove also refers to a place, so
Right.
it's confusing to me. So
The
I don't like
grove that
use.
means coven.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
grove that means coven, the
Yeah,
group of druids that work with the Drix.
absolutely. That is
Yeah.
absolutely
So,
what I did. Yeah, I
but
trained with
it
the Arisen, but
definitely,
still not
it still was
necessarily
not regimented. No,
conventional
no, no.
regimented
And
ranger training because they're a bunch of druids. Druids
yeah,
taught me how to be a ranger.
and you would have had a druid master. You would have had
Yeah.
somebody who
Was it
instructed you.
Drix?
Probably not, because he's a Circle of the Land druid and you're a Horizon Walker,
I
so
am.
it would have been somebody. I don't know. We can talk about who it was
I would
another
love
time,
that
and
because maybe that
maybe
could,
that can be a Tales from Essentia
yeah.
potential
Well,
there.
I don't know if Katie's finished writing the Odessa prequel, but it could be part of
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
Katie,
So,
you're watching. You said you wanted to pick
well,
my
she
brain
had to
about
go,
stuff,
but we
so
can forward her the
yeah.
information.
Yeah.
So yes, there would have been some very stark differences between the two learning disciplines of y'all's pasts.
Mhm.
Much, you the paladins, and yours was split too, Zenalia, because part of it is with the Raven Queen and
Yeah.
like the military school, and then the paladins, which was a whole like separate
Separate thing.
structure. And yes, the druids would have been a lot more flexible. You probably only had one druid master and then worked with others at
Plus,
varying times.
it's a lot of magic and nature isn't nature and nature and camouflage. Nothing is what it seems,
Yeah.
etc.
Are there
So,
any people that have manifested? Like, can we hear voices or
Oh,
anything, or is
great
it just
question.
hmm, give me another perception check or investigation, whichever is better, I guess.
perception is better? It's a 17 plus 6, so that's what, like another 23. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you when you put your mind to, like, when you do that thing where you're like trying to, I'm listening
Yeah.
carefully.
When you turn the volume down on the radio so you can look more
Yeah.
when you're
Like that. Uh, you do hear some. faint chatter that would be reminiscent of noise that you heard maybe from the rec hall at the
Mhm.
barracks or lectures happening. Whatever you imagine the education slash training that Zenalia went through,
Okay.
some audible cues from that.
Okay.
Uh, and as you continue to walk, the layout doesn't shift quite as much. Like it's not like there was a right turn here. No, it's a left turn.
Mhm.
It's really more like the
Aesthetics.
texture and the aesthetics and some of the like structures. An arched doorway here was is now a rectangle there. That sort of thing.
Mhm.
You do come back to the door that Odessa burned through last time, and it is still pried open, much like it was when the party left,
Mhm.
charred in places. This structure of it, though, it looks like how those black patches, the
Mhm.
bits where you can see the like sort of raw Shadowfell magic exposed, like the framework underneath the illusion.
Cool.
This looks very much that is very apparent on this
Okay.
doorway, and you would Odessa, it would be unmistakable to you. I don't imagine it would be something that Denali wouldn't be able to identify either, but you can see like bits of what looks like fire sort of mingling with this
Yeah.
black,
Ooh.
uh, and it's sort of cascading down, uh, and you are outside the room. You can't really see through the threshold. It's very dark inside.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Is the door propped open in a way that looks like it's pretty secure? I don't need to do anything extra to make sure the door stays open.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about the door.
Okay.
Well, hold on. I'll put a pin in that. From what you can see, from the visuals that you have in front of you, no, you would like. It doesn't look like this door would ever close again.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, like I
No.
said, put a new pin on it. This dungeon, I'm not can give you no guarantees that
Okay.
wouldn't necessarily happen. But
Right, but if I there doesn't seem to be a way, I don't think that I would be able to prevent it
no,
if the dungeon
I
really
don't.
wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Yes.
Could I spend like 10 minutes to cast alarm as a ritual on the door so that if it starts to close, it lets us know?
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Excellent. Great idea.
Describe what that ritual is like.
Yeah. Um, I don't think that casting a like ritual spell has is something that Zenny has like does very frequently. So she pulls out like a little pocket notebook, and has like a bunch of sigils written down inside it. And then I've been watching way too much. Have you guys watched any Witch Hat Atelier yet? No.
I
Okay.
think I've seen like one or two,
Watching like
but
way too much. I'm like, she pulls out a piece of chalk, like
no,
starts writing.
I'm an old Full Metal Alchemist head, so like same
Okay.
principle. Like,
Yeah, same principle. Yeah, same principle. Um, and she like copies the runes from her notebook in like a specific order on the ground. And then like tests it a little bit. Like if the door were to start to break those runes, then like an alarm would go off.
okay,
And she
uh,
fixes.
Nice.
Mhm.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Is there anything Odessa wants to do in that 10 minutes?
Oh, she is sitting in quiet contemplation, holding her halberd, watching Zenny's back.
Okay,
I'm going
uh,
as fast as I can.
but it's 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes. Any way you
But it's,
slice it.
it's good luck
Casting
before
time.
you start a
Yeah.
journey, and this is a this is a separate journey for the two of
Mhm.
us.
The alarm ritual has cast. We're going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need
All
roll?
right. Hmm?
I was just looking at Odessa. I'm like, you ready to roll? Mhm.
Let's do this.
Mhm.
So moving back into that room, it does hold a bit of the shape that it had when you previously left. The facsimile of the court at Carjet, Carjet. Uh, the audience chamber, sort of semicircle towards the back of the room. These three large, sort of almost pillar podium style kind of things where the judges were, and then down in a sort of pulpit sort of situation, uh, a form that
Mhm.
was at least what how we it was able to be interpreted as Odessa's brother uh, tied up and bound. There were vines, I think, that were growing in, so that is still there. Everything, though, is burnt and blackened. The whole room, in fact. Uh, speaking with light sources,
Yes.
I'm guessing Odessa, you're still carrying your lantern, your
Radiant
moon
lantern.
lantern,
Yeah.
and you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision.
Okay. All right, just making sure that so that these things I'm describing you can actually see, because there's not really any lights lit. The sconces and the torches that were lit earlier don't react the same way that they did before. The
Mhm.
room has that. This is something that only a tailored audience would be able to connect with. The room has that feeling of like a theater after the
Mhm.
show is over and the
Yeah.
audience has left and the cast
Mhm.
has left, and there's just this sort of stillness that you can feel.
Yeah.
um, Parts of that black patchy breakdown of the raw magic are much more apparent here as well, and you
Okay.
can see sort of ribbons of flame coursing through varying portions. um,
Mhm.
what are we doing?
I'm here for you, Odessa. So
Um,
whatever, whatever you want.
I will go over to the form that used to look like my brother and kind of poke at it and see if it wants to look like my brother again.
Uh, so as you walk towards that form, which I will say that it looks almost like I'm imagining like like a broken hologram almost made
Yeah,
out of
like
like
kind of go
black.
glitching. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and like but with that like black inky kind of quality to it. Uh, and to the point where like certain angles you can almost looks like you can see through it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like it doesn't look corporeal in any sense of the word, really.
Mhm.
So as you approach it, though, there is sort of this hum that you can kind of feel, uh, and on the floor around in a circle around him, and now you have stepped into this ring of sigils, sort of pulses faintly in the
Mhm.
dark.
Do I recognize them as a particular type of spell or magic?
Mhm.
Um, give me an Arcana check. Uh, Zenalia, you would recognize the symbols themselves. They
Mhm.
are like ancient Thessaian uh,
Okay.
runes.
Okay.
15.
Uh its configuration. Hmm, that's tricky because that's like right on the cusp. It
Could
gives
I
you
help her? Like, if I do I know any of them? Like, I might be able to like
sure, yeah,
reading
yeah.
Old English or
You
something.
you yeah, you recognize like this symbol means that, and that symbol means this. And so uh this magic in this specific space that you were in
Mhm.
is chrono magic,
Okay. Okay.
time manipulation.
Time manipulation. Okay.
Mhm. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
However, when you step into it, it almost you get this sense like it hums really lightly and it glows faintly, but then it goes. "Mm."
Oh, I think it's
Ooh.
broken.
Do we wanna try and put it back together?
How do we do that? Does the whole room have to be put back together, or is there something broken about the sigils, or what?
Could I make an Arcana check and see if there's something broken about the
Please,
sigils? Yes.
please, yes. Make an Arcana check and
Okay.
roll well.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I got a 19.
Oh,
Yay!
perfect. So looking at the nature of the sigils, and we'll even take it so far as Zenalia full on gets her like Sherlock Holmes hat on and is because the paladins would have been charged with
Yeah.
some degree of investigating. They're
I
the
use.
watchers. They are the protectors from things from beyond the veil. Uh, I have so much lore shit to dump on you, Erica, for the Order of the Watchers. So you get like right up on these places where you can see that raw magic, and in that black mass you can see these faint lines and curves and dashes, and there is like stave magic written in this shadow, and
Ooh.
you recognize it. It's something that's from ancient Phasean uh, culture. That's arcane architecture. You know stories of powerful individuals that could sort of pull energy from the miasma of the Shadowfell and coalesce it and condense it and then refine it and turn it into a construct, basically.
Okay. This is an ancient building that we're in. This is not just something that like the false queen has created for us like in the last, you know, few weeks or even last year or anything. Um this is something that's been here I think longer than I even realized that the Shade Swamps had this kind of magic. Zenny's like nerding out a little bit. She's like, "Oh my god, this is really cool. I've only ever read like 2 chapters and like a footnote about this before." Like it's not taught that much. Does it look like it can be fixed?
Um, so you're gonna reach out and touch it?
Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone look at Odessa first and be like, can I touch it? Do you want to touch it together? Should I touch it by myself?"
If you would like to touch it together, then we can touch it together.
Okay, let's touch it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't think Denny doesn't wanna get, like, separated from anything and is
That's
hoping that
so
No,
fair.
that's
So fair.
totally valid. And with me GMing, you never know, so I totally get it.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so both of you, when your hands pass into this, it's almost like you're pushing through like a multitude of spider webs. Like it
Okay.
feels tangible and like there is like it has give, but it's not resistant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh, However, there is shortly thereafter a very sharp, frigid jolt of energy, and I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws.
okay. This dice is rolling. These dice that James sent are really good.
Yeah, we say that over and over and over again because they really are. I love mine.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
yeah,
excellent. That's a 21.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, mine's only a 12.
Oh boy, that's actually very appropriate, I think, because
Okay.
this person, the character's of the Shadowfell, and the energy is as cold can be, and you have a fire demon inside you.
Yeah.
So in that moment, there's this, it's the stereotypical scene in the movie where the characters touch the thing that you don't probably shouldn't have touched that, and there's like this, spoomp, and both of you get pushed back.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
Odessa, you get knocked flat on your ass, and you are going to take 15 points of cold damage,
Mhm.
and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Uh, before you can go ahead and do that while you're doing that.
What are the
Zenalia,
number of damage again?
15.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
In that moment, you hear all at once this chorus of voices,
Oh,
and I'm going to recite something to you now.
okay.
Before the crown of feathers, there was the first draft. Before the loom of fate, there was the hall of quiet stone. We built it to hold what mortals could not carry. We sang it to bear what grief would otherwise drown. But stone remembers what hands forget, and crown, when buried, do not sleep, they sink.
Oh, will you send that to me as
Oh my
well?
goodness.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, in that cacophony, so imagine, like you're experiencing the scene, this scene all like in an instant,
Mhm.
but you remember that passage. You've heard that phrase. You've heard
Okay.
that before or read it somewhere. Uh, it was uttered by or writ by the uh, sorry, the first arcane architect, and it was in reference to the Hall of Memory. The Hall of Memory was built by by the real Raven Queen when she came to the Shadowfell.
Okay.
What did you get on your wisdom saving throw, Margaret?
Oh, I got a 24.
All right. So you hit the ground, and that cold sensation sort of hums in your arm for a minute. Uh, you can hear what sounds just like an angry beast sort of snarling behind your head, behind your eyes, from wherever this voice manifests in you. But you are able to sort of grit your teeth. All that quiet contemplation really paid off, uh,
That's why I do it.
and keep the fire at bay.
Honestly, I feel like that should be a thing. I should get advantage on my first wisdom saving throw if I've sat in quiet contemplation recently.
Contemplation.
Fair,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just thinking of
that's
a
valid.
mechanic that goes with her.
Yeah, totally valid.
Okay.
Right. So I now realize that that revelation doesn't necessarily answer the question of can it be repaired. Uh,
Mhm.
but in figuring out and that this is a structure that it was built by arcane architecture, knowing the significance of the structure itself. I mean, the
Yeah.
only reason that that phrase would have come from this weave, if you'll pardon the expression, uh,
Mhm.
would be that because this is the Hall of Memory, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know for a fact that this structure then is tied to the Raven Queen's power. Whether
Okay.
it's the real Raven Queen or the false Raven Queen, whoever has the mantle of the Raven Queen, it's tied directly to her.
Oh, shit.
Do
Does
Mhm.
you
that mean she
remember?
knows we're here?
Do you remember what a question I asked you about an object, Erica, that from your
Yes.
sister?
Yes.
I so I don't know if did you come up with anything? Because if you didn't, I have something.
Okay, I have not, no.
Okay. So, you can think on the story narrative implications and the reasoning behind it, and we can talk about that and try to suss that out a little bit more. But, your past with your sister was a
Mhm.
tumultuous one, and more so at the end of it. Whether it was done as like a prideful thing, whether it was done as like a hey, I'm proud of this, when she left to start her uh, training in the Nakyahul, uh,
Mhm.
she gifted you a quicksilvered owl plume.
Ah.
it is a feather from the owlet that she. So to become one of the Nakyahul, you actually hatch an owlet. Like they
Mhm.
give you the egg, and it hatches, and you raise it. And so this was a quicksilvered feather from the owlet's last molt before it
Mhm.
was given its saddle and all of that good stuff. You also
Interesting.
know the reason I ask is that that piece has some connections to the Raven Queen's power too, because the Naktiyahul, the owls, the war owls, like she basically like creates those.
Mhm.
Wait, the false
And
queen is creating more of them, or was that Nocta's thing?
I mean it yes and no. We're just
Okay.
gonna go with that. So as you touch this surface and you're trying to problem solve and figure out how to get this
Mhm.
space to respond to you, you can
Yes.
feel that feather
Kind of like
sort of vibrating a little bit.
vibrating a little bit. Okay. I will take it out. Just kind of hold it. I'll keep like a little firm grasp on it. Not enough to break it, but like I don't want it just like
So as you hold it up
Mhm.
and move it through the air, you can feel and hear this sort of resonance
Mhm.
as it sort of reacts with the air around it.
Can I
Uh,
use it as a quill to fix the like try and fix the like magic?
yes, absolutely. Uh, where do you want to start? Because
Uh,
we'll say, hold on, let's do this like I'm a real GM. Uh, well, so there are three the spots that are the worst
okay,
in this
okay,
chamber.
okay,
One on Odessa's the form of her brother itself,
Mhm,
okay,
one
mhm,
on the highest parliamentary podium,
mhm.
and
okay,
one in the top corner of the audience chamber.
okay. I'm turning around to Odessa, who I see, probably standing up after being knocked on her ass and taking some cold damage. Um, so this feather, my sister gave me. It's from like a war owl. It's been silvered. There's like some more going on there, but that's not super important right now. Um,
Okay.
and anyway, it's like I feel it, and so she like makes you like touch it, and it's kind of vibrating. She's like, I
Yeah.
think we can
Ooh.
use it to like fix what's going on here.
Okay.
Um, do you want me to try and fix your brother first? Do you want me to try and fix
That's really
up
the only
there?
part we need, right?
Right, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Okay.
As Annie will try and fix Odessa's brother first.
So give me an Arcana check.
Okay. I hope this is good.
Odessa's gonna go ahead and ignite her halberd.
Ooh.
That is a 17.
Uh, yeah. So as you like sort of get close to this form and peer into this magic weave, so to speak, um, bring the feather in. You find a spot where part of the sigil. I'm going to send you. There's a really cool old ancient Irish runes called
Mhm.
Ogam.
Yeah.
Uh, it looks so friggin' cool, like the way
Mhm.
so like that, just like this basically this continuous chain of
Mhm.
symbols.
Symbols. Yeah.
You're able to go in when the feather touches it, there is a very obvious reaction. You can sort of
Mhm.
feel almost like I'm not gonna quite say like it's you're playing an operation, but like there's this almost a discord as
Okay.
as the quill moves over the weave and draws the shapes.
Yeah.
Um, Odessa, give me a perception check because Zenalia's preoccupied.
Very much so.
Yeah. 23.
You can sense. I don't know how over the shoulder you're watching what Zanali is doing, but you
Mhm.
can sort of sense these rhythmic pulses moving through the room that are starting from where she is working. Each time the feather scrapes across the weave, this pulse of energy sort of reverberates through the room. Uh, I want to figure out how do you finish it. I'm just trying to think
Mhm.
of like mechanic stuff on the fly. That's not my strong suit. Um,
I don't know. Like, is it
roll a spell attack. What's your spell attack?
yeah, that feels correct.
Why
Uh,
not? Is your
my
trying to channel your magic directly? Sure, why not?
yeah, I'll take that. That's a nat 20 plus 8.
My
What
girl.
madness? All right.
Thank you for the dice, James.
So in repairing this portion of the weave, there's all this sort of decided sort of chime as the energy vibrates through this section that you're working on, and it starts to incorporealize, uh, and the shadowy bit closes up, and the tendrils of this weave come together, and it's the form of at least what the dungeon interpreted as Odessa's brother bound in chains and as he was when they first entered the room. The vines have broken away and turned to ash and crumbled on the ground. But he is in the exact state that he was in when you all first entered.
Hell
Odessa
yeah.
swings her halberd around in a circle so she can come up underneath him and get him with the pokey end just under the chin and set his face on fire.
Amazing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
You don't
pull
have.
the quill away and just be like pretending it was like on fire.
Okay. You successfully light him on fire, but there's no reaction.
Did it make a
I mean, his yes,
satisfactory sound?
this sure, yeah. The figure is standing there, bound, and his head is on fire.
Great.
And that's kind of satisfying to look at.
Yeah, and it's
Hmm.
crackling and just burning.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna like shove him off like a burnt marshmallow and then
Y-
like blow out
Okay,
the tip of my halberd so that it's not on fire anymore and just watch him burn for a minute.
Mm,
okay.
okay,
Can we do that again?
sure. Uh, yeah. Do you want me to put him out and then like hold him in place and you can do it again?
Oh, is he undamaged actually, or do we have to like time
He's
magic
not.
him backwards?
He's not reacting. Like his head is on fire.
Hmm.
When you put it out, it's back the same as it was.
Hmm.
That's no fun, but okay.
It's like the room itself is still inert.
Ooh, maybe I need to go fix the other parts and then he'll react.
Oh, yeah, I guess that might be better.
Okay. All right, you stay here. I'm gonna jump up there and fix the other bits that need to be fixed. Just give me like 5 minutes.
She's just gonna like absent-mindedly like stab the end of her halberd into him. Just in a bunch of
Uh,
different places, testing out where might be the weakest, the best
We
spot.
can.
how distracted by it would you say Odessa is arguably?
Oh, not distracted. That's why I said she is absent-mindedly doing the stabbing. She's not paying very much attention to the stabbing. She's
Okay.
just
Mhm,
that's kind of her background activity while she's still watching Zenny's back.
All right,
mhm.
give me a perception check.
Okay.
And Zenalia, you climb up. I'm not gonna
Uh-oh.
make you roll anything to climb. Or which one are you doing first, I guess? The
The
podium or
higher
the
one.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's the
Mhm,
highest.
yeah.
Uh what did you roll? Are you distracted? You're distracted, aren't
I'm
you?
a little distracted. I only rolled an 11.
You're like, wow, his
Yeah.
torso's really squishy.
Yeah. So cool. Um
Sorry.
That's okay. It happens.
So, Zenalia, when you get up there, you can notice that this bit is on the podium, and you kind of like seat yourself in the chair to
Mhm.
get in the best spot to do the fixing. Give me another Arcana check.
Okay. That's only a 12 this time for the
Oh
Arcana check.
no, we're
All
both
right.
distracted.
So as the feather comes in and touches, this one will say it's a little bit finer or it's further
Mhm.
in the light. You're not working with like actual physical materials. Writing in a
Right.
three-dimensional space is really hard.
Yeah.
I have this VR blueprint app
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You can like
That's
you
cool.
can do schematics and
Mhm.
like you did. Yeah. Anyway, drawing in three dimensions is difficult. Uh,
Mhm.
so when the quill touches, there's another discordant sound, but this one is much stronger, and you
Okay.
feel yourself affixed to the chair now.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 19.
You hear the voice of one of your commandants from military academy, and
Okay.
these loud footsteps of this character coming down a hallway, presumably in the barracks.
Okay.
This was a character that you were afraid of. This is
Yeah.
somebody that all of the cadets were afraid of. This
Yeah.
is I won't quite go into the Miss Trunchbull
Yeah.
realm because I feel like that's a little too silly. But if you did Matilda as a horror movie,
Yeah. This
yeah,
is the
So
person.
the
Okay.
book.
this is that person. So the
Yeah.
book, yep.
For the book. Mhm.
I love that movie though. Oh,
Me
Danny
too.
DeVito. Like
Mhm.
what a great story. So you are stuck for a few
Mhm.
moments, and as you're hearing this sound, you can see almost this illusory form masking over the room, and it looks like the barracks from the academy, the Imperial Academy.
Okay.
Is that
Um,
what I also see?
No.
Oh,
You see her like jolt and you see her stick to the chair. Do you want to respond? Do you want to react in some way?
yeah, probably verbally first. Like, Denny, all good? Everything good? Are you okay?
I imagine I can't respond.
You cannot. You hear this voice getting louder, these footsteps getting louder, and can recall the exact moment that's happening. It's a time that uh, you were getting disciplined
Mm,
because a bunch of other cadets had snuck out and you didn't,
I didn't, but I probably took
but
the fall
it
for it.
was it was an all yeah, like
Mhm.
basically you ended up getting all the blame. Uh
I don't know anything about that. I'm going to run over and, like,
Grab her.
gradually, more aggressively trying to move her, shake her,
Mm.
All right,
slap
give
her
me a
a
strength
little.
check.
A what?
A strength check. So
Oh,
what ends up happening is you get up there and you grab her, and like she won't move. She's very, very static. So you would ultimately get to a place where you'd be like, I'm fine, muscles.
16.
That's good enough. That's good
I
enough.
don't want to do it too hard. I don't want to, like, hit her
Yeah.
head off.
So you are able to pull her back from the back of the chair just as you can hear the chamber door, Erika, opening, uh, and this character coming in, and you
Mhm.
are suddenly snapped back into the Parliament chamber.
Oh, okay. We're back. Yeah, we're gonna try again.
What happened?
I messed up. It's weird to I don't mean I don't know this language, so I'm just trying to like, use pattern recognition to copy what's going on and try and fix this. But um then I messed up and I was suddenly back at the barracks and I could hear, oh, I hated this guy. He was like the not my like commander that I reported to, but the guy above him, and he disciplined all of us if we got in trouble. And I could hear his footsteps like coming down the stone hallway. He wore these really specific boots with like a super hard sole so that we could like tell his footsteps from everybody else's. And it was the most intimidating thing ever. And anyway, he was coming down the hallway, and I didn't have to see him thanks to you.
You're welcome. Um, that does not sound pleasant. It is very clever what you are doing, but if it is dangerous, I do not want you to do it.
I mean, this whole place is dangerous, right?
Well, that's true, but if we're going to put ourselves at too high a risk, we should do it for better reasons that are good for the whole world and not just me.
But if through being here with you, we're able to understand how this place was built and maybe how the false queen is using it or can control it, maybe we can manipulate it to help us in the future. And this is a pretty like low stakes way to figure out how it works, right?
Well, that is true. Do you think that perhaps this was put here just to keep us from getting to her? If she did, like she built it, you say it's her magic. Did she build it?
It's not her magic, it's the magic of the arcane architects from, like, way long ago, but whoever is, like, in charge down here kind of owns this space and can manipulate it, I think, to their will.
So in the mythology, well, it's not really mythology because it is history to the
Yeah.
Shadar-kai, like to their people. It's just that it's in that weird
Is it
murky
a myth?
area
Is it
between
history?
mythology, history, and folklore, like something and some kind of mix
Mhm.
of all three. Uh, that the original Raven Queen, the real Raven Queen, had this space created by the arcane architects.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Okay, so
Mhm.
the but you say the false queen could be in charge of it now.
yeah, for all
Yeah.
intents and purposes, and I feel like that is would be common knowledge to the Shard, to at least to Zenalia. I think I'm pretty sure we said to settled on that the fact that the false queen does not try to keep that fact from the Shadar Kai. Like she has been very open about that she's not the original.
Mhm.
So I feel like I think I'm pretty sure when we did your solo episode, we talked about that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So it is possible that the best way to escape is to tear the whole thing down, make it stop working.
Ooh, I hadn't thought about that, but I guess.
Give me some new perception checks. This time
Okay.
with you can both do them with advantage because you are both up higher. This is
I
your
got a nat 20 though.
perfect.
So
I
I
got
won't roll
24.
again.
So two things you notice. What did you get, Erica?
A 24.
Oh,
29
perfect. So
total.
both of you will notice. Each of you can notice one of these things.
Mhm.
That one in the center of the room where the brother is, that
Mhm.
part that the part that has been repaired, the sigil that's on the floor, the ring
Mhm.
is actually brighter now, and
Ooh,
there's a second column to it,
Okay.
a second
ooh.
ring of symbols.
Is there
This
anything
magic
broken in these? Oh.
No, this magic, these things weren't broken to begin with. What's broken
Mhm.
is the magic in the actual like weave of that energy.
Okay.
This is like something that's actually on the floor. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Uh, Give me an Arcana check, Odessa, because you did that earlier to interpret. You can both do it.
you got it.
15. It's not my best skill.
Yeah, I know Arcana's not my best skill either, so I've just been hoping for the best when rolling dice. I got an 11.
An 11 is not going to give you much. 15 is pretty okay, pretty good. Well above average anyway. You recognize some of the structuring, uh, something to do with lineage, something to do with kin, something to do with
Well,
folk.
this is very interesting. I wonder if do you say you have a sister
Mhm.
because we met her husband and you have the quilting. Yeah. So
Yes.
sister
Mhm.
exists. I wonder if
Mhm.
you went into the sigil circle, if
Oh,
the
uh-huh.
form would take the image of your sister instead of my brother, or it does not specify a sibling per se, so maybe it would be your mother or your father.
Weird. Should we try it?
I mean, it's up to you if that will not cause you any psychological distress to see one of them like it does for me. Um,
I
then,
mean, it might.
it,
And we also wanted to come back here to, like, kinda wail on him. Have you
well, I did impale him through the chin and set his face on fire. So that felt pretty good. And now I'm feeling like we should maybe do a little more focus on bigger picture. And like you said, if we understand how it works, maybe we can take it apart or whatever. And this is, I just, for the sake of science,
Okay, okay, for the
I
sake of
know what
science.
happens when I step in there already, but I am
Okay,
wondering if that is what this means, is the way that the magic works. It might be a particular enchantment for whoever steps in a circle to see a kin. Or
okay.
maybe it's specific to me. I don't know, but we can find out.
Mhm.
So while you two are discussing this, and I'm assuming we're climbing down from
Yeah,
the podiums,
make a climb and
uh, off to we'll say your left,
Mhm.
uh, where some of the miasma is still sort of filtering up out of one of these fractures. You notice a glint of that fire that you could see pulsing, and it gets
Mhm.
brighter and brighter, and then this sort of wiry framework of a figure manifests and just erupts into flames. Roll for initiative, and
Oh,
this
shit.
is a spot where we will go to a break.
Crap.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you want to know what we got first or after?
after.
Okay,
Okay. You will be
sounds good,
back in 10 minutes or so.
sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. There's a saying around these parts. We hope you had a pleasant bathroom break. I've been sitting here the whole time trying to get combat ready because we just rolled initiative. So
Yeah.
there are two things on the field worth of note.
Mhm.
That magic circle, well, three technically. That magic circle, has changed. We'll
Mhm.
also say it's a little brighter now, maybe. Uh, this fire entity has manifested and is raging. And then up in the corner, I will put another little symbol on the map just so that we have it. And I'll do it this one in white.
Mhm.
Uh, Up here is another broken part of the weave, the tapestry, the
Mhm.
arcane architecture.
Okay.
So if Zenalia wants to do that, she can. It's one of this that you do that instead of engaging in combat.
Okay. I will engage in combat
Okay.
first.
Okay. So what did the two of you roll?
18.
I had 26.
Damn.
I have a plus 14 to initiative.
You're ridiculous.
26,
Just like James.
18. Well,
Oh,
fire
but
guy.
my aura, hold on. We haven't had a combat in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and your aura is uh 30 feet.
Yes. Okay. So my aura of the Essential is 30 feet. And so you can add your proficiency bonus to your initiative. Uh, Egg.
My own proficiency bonus to initiative.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then I got a 22.
Nice.
There you go.
Thanks.
No problem.
All right. So there is I didn't have a fire elemental uploaded, which seems absurd. But there's a thing on the field. There's this, it just looks like a humanoid form made of fire. This
Fire.
big,
Okay.
big, crazy, raging, pluming fire, but has arms and legs in a faintly humanoid shape.
Cool.
And so top of the turn order with you, Zenalia.
All right. I am going to run over and use my flails to make uh two attacks.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
That's a 13 to hit and a 17 to hit.
A 13 is a whiff, so we'll say that maybe you're correct for the height. You swing at the top of it, but oh no, that's just burning part. There's nothing
Yeah,
tangible there.
that's just hair.
You bring the other one down right across the midriff, and
Mhm.
that one connects. Roll your damage.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Um, that is 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And then with my bonus action, I'll make an offhand attack and try again to hit. But that's a
Okay.
15, so I don't know if that one hits.
15 does not.
Okay. All good. That is my turn, and now I'm melee with it. I guess I'm like here. I have like reach. I can be farther away. Okay. Good deal.
All
That
right.
is it.
Odessa.
Um, just to confirm, are Zenny, are you within 10 feet of the fire guy?
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, dang it.
But that's okay. I can take some damage.
Mm,
Yeah. I have reach, but I think that only like adds 5 feet. It's not like a 15 feet of
yeah,
anything.
but then you'd be 10 feet away, and it specifically says any creature within 10 feet.
Mm. I'm right on the edge.
Yeah.
Okay, so for now, I'm gonna I'm gonna cast ensnaring strike and then attack with my halberd.
All right. Cast your ensnaring strike. Because I think that's like a ranged. It's a ranged.
You
So
can
no, it
ensnaring
just
strike
it's on whether the halberd hits or not.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's ensnaring strike, ranged, and melee for rangers.
Yeah, so yeah, the next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends. So um I'm going to do that.
Are you going to move close enough to do that?
Sure. I'm sorry. I don't have the I don't have the map up for on the
Oh,
stream.
I
So
I didn't, but I didn't realize you didn't have it up on the
I
computer.
mean
Oh,
I do. It's just a lot of going back and forth. I
that's
apologize.
fine. It's fine. Un momento. Just tell me that, and
Okay, so
I will
I'm
move
moving
you.
close enough. Again, my halberd also has a 10-foot reach, but so I'm just moving close enough to hit with the halberd, which 2 attacks per action, so I get to swing twice. Where are you? Plus 11. 27 for the first one.
27 will hit.
And a 23 for the second one.
23 will hit.
Okay,
Nice.
so
Now this one's important. You're gonna need to make sure that you roll your regular damage and your fire damage separate.
Mm.
right, because it probably won't take the fire damage, right?
It will not.
Okay, so I just won't roll it.
No, I need you to roll it.
Okay.
I need to know what the number is. Sorry.
Yikes.
Okay,
I'm
even though my halberd is not ignited at the moment?
You definitely ignited your halberd.
I did, but then I blew it out.
hmm Yeah, she said she blew it out after when we were watching her brother burn.
Okay. I didn't
But if you
remember you
want it to
blowing
be
it out.
ignited, it can be. I
Yep.
just don't I didn't see the point in reigniting it since it was a fire person.
I did not catch that you had put it out earlier. Let's in the future, let's make that more definitive, declarative than blowing it out. Like so, let's say it has to
I
be an
did say
action,
it.
right? I'm just saying in the future, make it a more declarative,
You have
intentional
to take an
thing.
action to do it or
Like
something.
it takes, yeah,
We
like it
weren't in
takes
combat, so like there wasn't an action to take.
I know.
Anyway,
I
I'm sorry
realize
you
that. That's
missed it.
why.
I will try to make it
Mhm.
clearer next time. I don't know. I said it
Yes,
and
thank
I
you.
said it, but okay.
Okay, so that if it's not on fire, don't worry about it.
The first one does 15 points of slashing damage. God damn it. I dropped my die.
Hello.
And the second one does another 15 points, so that's 30 points of slashing damage. And then the a mass of magic thorny vines appears at the point of impact, and the target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by them until the spell ends.
So as the vines come up and start to ensnare, you do notice that are on fire,
But they're
and
magic,
this
so
and so is the creature is made of fire magic. So it is
okay.
technically magical fire. So it will only stay ensnared for one turn. It will
Okay.
automatically burn its way out.
Okay.
Okay.
So it will be ensnared on y'all's on the next for the next round.
Okay.
Okay. At the
Uh,
beginning of its turn, it'll take uh 1d6 piercing damage.
okay, roll that d6.
Is it its turn now?
Yes, there's
Yeah, I
only
thought
only
so.
3 of you.
4.
Mhm.
You got me all discombobulated. I couldn't remember if it had gone before me.
So the two of you have wailed on this thing a little bit. Every strike that you've made on it, it's like hitting a fire. It moves for a moment,
Mhm.
momentarily, dulls or dims, but then it re blazes immediately. Uh, and you both of you give me perception checks as you
Mhm.
can hear you can hear it crackling. You can hear that, that if you I don't know if you've ever been like close to I'm sure both of you have, close to a bonfire, and you could
Mhm.
hear, the fire. There is a faint another sound in it though.
Interesting.
I got another nat 20, and I'm not
Okay.
complaining, but I would rather have them on attacks.
I
Well,
got a
that's
dirty
okay.
20.
Sweet. So you can both hear faint voices
Mhm.
in this fire. Uh, I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that Zenalia does not understand giant,
No.
but Odessa does. You can hear this it's very faint, very like far away and overbeared by this the sound of these flames. Um, but you can hear what sounds like some sort of incantation or prayer uh, or spell. What's the difference?
Mhm.
Uh, to pull forth power, to call forth power. And you can hear the fire crackling, and that sound builds to a pitch, and this thing suddenly lets out this deafening yell. Just sounds like a thousand people yelling, and I need you both to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. Dexterity saving. That is a 15.
24.
So 24 passes, so the 15 fails.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's okay. I figured a 15 was either gonna be close or a fail.
Uh, as this thing yells, this eruption of fire bursts out of it in a shockwave that cascades to every corner of the room. And Zenalia, you're going to take 27 points of fire
Ooh.
damage.
All right.
Uh, Odessa, you were going to take half as much.
Wait, say the number again.
27,
Like,
so you'll take 13.
Um, absorb somewhere. Where are you?
And we are back to the top of the turn order.
right.
Wait,
I'm
wait.
gonna
Oop.
Sorry. I would just, it took me a while to get back to the right page. I would like to react with absorb elements.
Mm.
Okay.
Um, so
Is
that
that
then,
well? Is that automatically going to imbue whatever you're doing with fire damage? Or is
I
it give you a
mean,
resistance?
yeah, it's both.
Mhm.
Okay, so
It
I then
adds resistance to that type and then turns it
just in
back.
the name of fairness, if you affect this thing with fire, it is going to benefit from it.
Okay.
So you can do. I'm not trying to take away your agency or anything. I just want you to have that knowledge of beforehand before making that choice.
Mhm.
I just really like the idea of like her halberd being able to absorb a fire attack. That looks cool
I love
Yeah.
visually
that.
to
Yeah,
me.
thematically, yeah, I think
And
that's
I
great.
think so then it
Then
specifies
then
that the first melee hit, so I think I'm gonna switch to ranged attacks. So
that's
it
what I
will
was going to
not,
suggest.
yeah.
Then you could just, I think you have to make sure you have a bonus action to put your halberd away and get
Yeah.
your bow out.
Mhm.
Can I do both of those things? Can I switch the weapon in a bonus action?
Typically, no, but just for the sake of fun, yes.
Thank you. Because
You're
then the only other
welcome.
thing I'm gonna do is cast lightning arrows on my
Mhm.
ammo.
Okay,
Deal.
and that's
Not
an
that
that's
that's
an
like
but
any, but
that's so
it,
that's a
huh?
you cast lightning arrow.
Mm-hmm. So now when I shoot him with it, I can't attack.
Okay, that's what I was wanted to clarify. Okay,
Yeah.
but
I'm
we are
just
back to the
readying
top.
my ranged
So
attack after I have that. So you said it was 13, and then that's in half again. So
Mhm.
it's 7.
Yeah.
okay,
Cool.
all right.
I am going to cast Spirit Shroud as a bonus action first,
Oh,
so that I will deal an extra D8 of either radiant, necrotic, or cold damage. I'm going to choose cold damage.
Let's see what it
Um,
does.
and see what it does. And also, if it gets within 10 feet of me, it has its speed reduced by 10 feet.
it's a
So if it,
20-foot radius.
yes. Cool. And then with my action, I will make 2 attacks. Oh, those are terrible. Those are both gonna miss. That's a 15 and a 13.
Yes, both of those missed. We will say that the spirit shroud is awful distracting.
It is awfully distracting. It's
What
not something.
describe what your spirit shroud looks like. Which
Oh, that's a really
if he's in 10 feet, he's going to take the damage from it. So
the
what's
cold
the
damage.
damage?
The
Yeah,
cold
he's
damage
gonna
is
go
1d8.
go ahead and
So
roll
he
that.
takes 7 points of cold damage.
Sweet.
Um,
That is double.
and I would say so. This spirit shroud is described as calling forth the spirits of the dead. And because we're in the Hall of Memories and there's stuff with like family going on here, I wonder if the spirit shroud manifests as like deceased family members. So it's like Xeni's mom, her granddad, like another grandparent, like maybe an aunt or an uncle, like some great grandparents, and they're all just kind of like around.
Love it.
Like like Harry Potter when Voldemort's wand starts
Like,
spitting out dead people. Like that.
Except
I was more
except
like
instead of imparting words of wisdom, they're burning things with radiant light.
radiant light. I was thinking more like the Avatar when it sees all the former Avatar.
Okay. That's
Hey,
better.
it's your headcanon. You can play whatever movie you want in your head. You know, you can see it however you want to see it. Love it. Okay, so you have this thing manifests around you. It kind of pushes past you,
Mhm,
Odessa. I think this is probably the first time you've seen that. Uh,
mhm.
Cool. Sick.
and the fire or the excuse me, I guess it's probably is it ice? It's probably bluish
Really
white
blue.
and misty. Uh,
Yeah, it
there
matches
is
her
a
aesthetic.
very strong steam reaction
Woohoo!
around this creature that is still technically ensnared until the end of this round. Yeah, Odessa,
Does that
your
mean
turn.
that my ranged attacks are at advantage because it's ensnared?
Yes,
Mhm. Okay,
yes.
I'm gonna shoot 2 lightning arrows at it, and that water is gonna be real helpful. Just gonna spread that electricity around.
Yeah.
If it's ice.
Ow.
You only said it was cold damage, but
Yeah,
7.
no,
Wait, no.
I don't think it creates ice.
No.
That'd be cool though.
18
Be
plus
Get it?
cool.
9, 22.
Be really
Yes,
cool.
really
Is
cool.
it cold?
Cold. Ass
I
cold.
got
Cool
2
is
22s.
a
Ooh,
pair of 22s. You
Pair of
love it.
22s.
cooler than being cool.
A pair of pistons.
Mhm.
That's what the 22-ounce Schlitz malt
Mm,
liquor cans were called.
nice.
Do they both hit?
Yes, they both hit. Oh,
You
yes,
didn't
yes.
say.
I'm sorry.
I was
We're at the point in our D&D lives where if we're rolling above a 20, we just know it hits.
Okay.
I will very definitively, proudly, and declaratively
18.
tell you when something above a 20, especially a 22, doesn't hit. Like I will make a big deal about it.
like,
I'm like, no, that misses, peasant.
Uh,
Uh,
23, 25, 26, 27, 34 points of lightning damage.
lightning damage.
I figure
Wow.
it's not like opposite or anything, but it probably isn't resistant
Oh
to
yeah,
it,
no,
right?
it doesn't. You are
Yeah.
correct in that figuring.
Great. Cool.
It is not resistant.
What happens, by the way, if you're not familiar with the spell, is that when she shoots the arrow, it literally just turns into a lightning bolt, like she's Zeus or some shit.
Love that.
And they just go pew, pew.
So yeah, you whip these two lightning bolt arrows, zip, and they hit the form and like get burned up, but you can tell that like the energy is still causing damage to the the fire sputters as it did when we were smacking it. It has a sort of more flickery quality to it. The
Mhm.
bursts are much more erratic. It seems to kind of be burning down, but still flaring up every now and again. Just trying to give
Mhm.
you some sort of visual key on the state of things. Uh, it is its turn. It's going to burn out of the ensnared vines, and it is going to close the distance between the two of you, and it is sort of. It doesn't. Did you play the Elder Scrolls games, Erica?
Yes.
Do
Mhm.
you remember the Do you remember the fire elementals, the
Yes.
Daedra?
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
it moves kind of like that. It doesn't. There's
Okay.
just sort of this burning trail on the ground, and this form is almost floating.
Very
But
cool.
these sort of arm tendril sort of flame jets
Mhm.
spurt out and try to grab you, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That is a dirty 20.
All right, so you're able to move and kind of twist around
Okay.
as it tries to grapple you unsuccessfully. However, it condenses its body some and flares up. Uh, you're going to take 2 points of fire damage.
Okay, I'll take 2 points of fire damage. That's not too bad.
And we're back to the top of the turn order.
Right. I will try again with my flails. Hopefully be better this time. Ah, that fell on the ground. Okay, that is an 18 and a 16.
The 18 hits, the 16 misses.
Ah, what is this thing's AC?
But you know the magic number now,
That's fair.
because I think your first roll was a 17.
I think it was a 17. Okay. So that will be uh so 19 points of blood. Okay, so 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and then 7 points of radiant damage, and another 1 point of cold damage.
So 2 points of cold.
Mhm.
All right. Describe how you kill it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So finally an attack of Xeni's hits. And it like connects with the center of it, and the fire kind of like jumps out of the way into the path of the spirit shroud, and
Love
like
that.
Xeni's great grandfather just kind of like punches it in the nose, and it just disappears.
I love it.
All right. Cool beans. Combat has ended. Your spirit shrouds will be up for a few more minutes. I'm going to get rid of the thing on the map, but they're
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
there. So, as this fire entity gets dissolved in the air, uh, give me one more perception check, Odessa.
26.
You, in a similar fashion to this experience that Zenalia had earlier, as you can hear the sound of this thing being propelled from this world, this chorus of voices speaking in giant. Uh, you can hear a specific phrase, uh, pull it here, bind it hence, use it still. And it's like this, almost like this song. You can imagine like hearing, uh, this Gregorian chant almost.
Mhm.
I don't really. That's kind of where my head goes when I think of the giant folk. Is
Yeah, that
is
feels. Mhm.
the deep songs.
And wait, I'm sorry. So where does it seem like it's coming from?
It's coming from the fire thing as it's disappearing.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay. I guess I'll tuck that away for later. I was kind of wondering like what the giant's hearing inside and if like Paralysis was gonna wake up and like talk to it or something.
Mhm.
Huh. So I I know that I am giantkin, and there's already been some implication from Paralysis that I am maybe not descended solely from the stone people like I thought
Mhm.
I was. So I'm thinking there are fire giants in my ancestry. So I wonder
Ooh,
if that's something that I could learn to harness, if we could like call a fire elemental to help us on occasion.
that would be really cool.
Is it
You want
something
to?
that I could like you think I could remember the words and like, or do you think I could remember the chanting that I heard?
You probably could remember the fragment that you heard.
Mhm.
Yes,
But it's not
I do want
necessarily
to.
the whole thing.
Yeah, I do want to impart that what you heard very much like the, where my head goes. Pop culture just has ruined me. You know where my head goes immediately.
Hmm.
You remember in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin is meditating and he hears like Obi-Wan yelling and he hears Padme crying
Yeah.
and he hears the lightsabers and Palpatine, like he hears all of this
Yeah,
just
the
little
things that
split
he was
sec.
manipulated to hear to make him think
Yeah,
that Padme
yeah.
was in danger. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm
So
familiar.
that is, I want to impart that that is kind of what the auditory
Okay, so it
equivalent
was like
would
a
be.
lot of overlapping stuff.
A
It
lot of
wasn't a
overlapping
single
stuff. What
unison
it
chant.
wasn't one
Okay.
uniform thing. So I would say that because you have a head for history and because the character has been so ingrained in like the tribal lore since becoming representative of the
Hmm.
tribal countries, uh, that you would have enough context to be able to use it as a thread to tug.
Yeah, so I could probably if I found a library, was able to do some research, or if I'm able to like meditate and talk to Paralysis again, I could ask him.
Potentially, yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to do that at some point, but
So, do
probably
you want to
not
try
now.
and step into the runes? Like, if they're still glowing a bit more, and you think that this is might be like fire giant ancestry, do you want to step into like the glowing runes and recite what you heard?
I suppose I could do that. I would see if we have swapped minds on big picture, small picture now, because I was very focused on the circle, just in the like as one spell on the right here, and
Mhm.
I assumed that it had to do with the figure and animating the figure. But you're absolutely right; it could be lots of things. So let's see what happens. So first, I'm just going to step back in the circle. What
Okay.
happens?
So as you step through the again, there's that audible reaction,
Mhm.
like piercing a thin barrier. Uh, it's very warm inside the circle, starkly in stark contrast to the greater climes of the dungeon itself, and the rings glow a lot brighter. Uh, Odessa, give me a perception check. Actually, and Zenalia, give me an investigation check
Okay.
because we're putting our thinking caps on.
Dirty 20.
Nice. I got a nat one.
Oh boy.
You okay, Zenalia, you are we'll say that you get try to get close enough to like inspect the runes some, but they you can actually feel that heat coming off. So you can't get close enough to really take a look at it.
Hmm.
Um, but a dirty 20, absolutely. Oh, you can feel something in that ring of energy at your what your calves. You can feel this something kind of pulling, and you hear a voice. And at first, you don't understand the language, but after a few moments, it mingles with this like crackling sort of sound, and it morphs into a language that you can understand. And I'll let you decide which one it is actually, because I this is 100% like for Odessa, so
If
it can
it's
would be
if it's to do
whatever.
with her giant ancestry, then it's probably giant.
Then yeah, sure.
Can I also add a bit of um flavor to what's happening as she's feeling this?
Sure, sure.
As soon as the rooms got brighter and it started getting warm, she'll look over her shoulder at Zenny and ask,
Mhm.
"Can I trust you?"
Yes?
Okay, so she's gonna sit because it has worked better for
Okay.
her to commune with Paralis before, and
Mhm.
that might have something to do with it if she's not in a conscious space. So she's going to sit in quiet contemplation, put more of her body into the heat and give in to the pulling down feeling and
Mhm.
listen.
Okay, so you are, I just want to understand correctly, you are giving in to the sensation of this magic.
Yes.
Okay. So you sit down and that ring gets brighter and you can from the outside, I don't imagine you would be able to see it as well as it's happening to you. Uh, and that comes from just seeing lots of pictures of people from the goth club, uh, and what photos of them look like versus what it's like actually being on the dance floor under the crazy lights. You know what I mean?
Odessa's gonna
Uh,
close her eyes anyway to
yeah,
have better
but
access to the
Zenalia,
space.
you can see
Mhm.
these forms of like incense smoke that's this milky black color, uh,
Mhm.
exuding up out of that ring and pushing into Odessa's form and starting to
Okay.
sort of like envelop her.
Okay.
Uh, Odessa, you are immediately flashed to a place from your childhood. Uh, I'll let you figure out who this character is in your context, but you're walking with this wise woman, uh, somebody who was import from the in the tribe, either an herbalist or a medicine woman, something in
From
that
my tribe
from
currently.
your tribe. This is
Okay.
from your childhood.
My childhood. Yes. Okay.
And this was important thing to convey. This was a character that a figure that you trusted. This was a character that you admired. This was a character that you looked up to.
Her
You
name is
you can
Helga.
okay, love it.
Love
Uh,
it.
and you
She first taught me
conjure up,
about plants.
yeah, this memory gets conjured up of interacting, going out, maybe foraging and trying to identify
Mhm.
specific plants, something to that effect. Uh, you in real life, and Zenalia, you will see her doing this. Pull out
Mhm.
a dagger from your rucksack and just very calmly and casually bring it to your hand and cut yourself. And the blood drops onto the sigils. And then in the very center, which is now directly underneath you, a third ring of symbols illuminates. And Zenalia can see this, but Odessa, you're in this magic memory moment.
Mhm.
Um, the form of her brother animates and comes to life. And now it is struggling against its bindings. Uh, Odessa, in your memory, you're seated with this wise woman, and in the memory, you remember cutting yourself. Uh, was it intentional? Was it an accident? I'll let you make that determination. Uh, and you can feel in the memory, you can feel the heat growing, and suddenly, like it dawns on you, oh wait, this isn't really happening. This isn't real. Uh, and as this scene sort of, we'll say that it white outs, uh,
Mhm.
the wise woman looks to you, and you just catch the last bit of her speaking, and she says, "Let go of the fear, but embrace the doubt. Have faith,
Those seem
Ember
like two
child."
different things.
So now you are back in the room, and your brother is animated and struggling against his restraints. Uh,
Mhm.
we did not fix the third part of
We
the.
did not.
So
Do I see Odessa wake back up?
I don't know. What do you do, Odessa?
Um, is he inside the circles of sigils with me?
Yes, you are all in the same place. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, well, I'm of two minds because science, but also I just kind of want to swing my halberd like an axe at his neck.
And I think you should, and if you wanna do that, I'll go fix the other part of this room.
I mean, you don't have to. He's good enough for me. He's animate, but stuck. So I'm just gonna swing at him.
Go.
Do I get advantage because he's bound?
You do.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How's an 18? Not my best swing, but it's not actually an
18.
axe.
An 18 will hit.
Great. Forgot what damage it does. A D10 maybe? Yeah, D10 plus
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
D10 sounds right when I made the card.
13 points of slashing damage to his throat.
So you spin the halberd around behind you. I guess you're still seated, right? And
Yeah, if I
wing
can
it
do
up
that.
at him, probably, and swing it around. And yeah, it's a clean hit. His head cocks to the side. His body goes with the momentum, uh, and your halberd clacks onto the ground. Blood starts to pool on the ground underneath him. Uh, you can see little edges of that fire that's still kind of pulsing in places. Uh, all of it is starting to now pulse towards the body and towards that blood and towards the halberd.
I'd like to still to have control of my halberd if I didn't for some reason.
You
I don't
you
know why
do,
it's
yeah.
clacking on the floor, but I'd like to
Well,
take a step outside of the sigil circles and see if that makes anything stop.
it does not.
Mhm.
Uh, both of you give me perception checks.
Any chance you think you can turn the room off? Dirty 20.
17. I don't
Both
know.
both of you would pick up on it. You can hear
Okay.
like this intense sort of creaking and groaning.
Yeah.
It sounds like just unpleasant sound coming from underneath the floors and the walls and the ceiling as you
Mhm.
see these streaks of that fire start to like spurt almost like cracks in the facade. Uh, the black miasma is starting to filter out like thick black smoke in places. Uh, and both of you can sort of feel this pulsing pull as if something in the construction of the room now is trying to draw all the fire to it.
Kinda feels like it's gathering power.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering about turning it off. Have we figured out how maybe to dismantle it as like a machine or like the whole dungeon, or should we leave and try to close the doors and hope the room contains itself, or what do you want to do?
I mean, I can give it a try and see if I can further break it, or
So here's what I will say, because there
yeah,
is still a raw, there's that still that raw pocket that the
yeah,
repair bit that we didn't do. It's too
yeah,
late to fix it.
okay,
Breaking it further, yes, I think that is still there's still potential there.
Just
okay,
undo what you did.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, do you have dispel magic?
I do.
Uh, I was
It's a
like, "I
firebolt
don't," but
spell.
yeah, if you do. I
Oh
was like, "I
wait,
have
That
remove curse and counterspell."
Yeah, I mean, dispel magic would definitely do something if
Yeah.
it were cast in directly into the weave.
Wanna try it?
Hmm.
We trying to break the room?
well, X wouldn't be a bad idea, right? Because hopefully we could just break out of this dungeon and get to the Raven Queen faster, or I'm still not really sure about this whole place's purpose.
I think it was we can use it as, like, an entrance, right? If we get through
Yeah,
it, we can use it as
that
an
was the
entrance.
word. That was the general, yeah, the general
Yeah.
idea.
Okay, that's what I thought also, but I couldn't remember that narratively for whatever reason. But
Okay.
like if we break out of it, will it still be an entrance to where we want to be, or do we have to finish it in order to get there?
Can I make a history check? Is that something we
Ask
would
ask the question again in Margaret speak.
Will it still serve its fast travel purpose if we break out of it instead of completing it, or do we have to complete it the way the dungeon wants
I,
us
I
to in order to get that benefit?
I don't think that either of you would have any contextual information that would give you that knowledge.
How do we
okay,
Uh,
know it's going to get
I
us
think,
somewhere?
hold on, let me finish. Dungeoneering in general, I mean, where there's a will, there's a way, right? So
Yeah.
the two of you make the decision how your characters would feel about that.
Hmm.
Obviously, I mean, with Erika, yes, give me a history check.
just say, is there, like, hope
We'll draw on
for
your knowledge of the arcane architecture stuff and see what you're able to recollect.
Because
12?
emotionally speaking, Odessa is not liking this place very much
Yeah.
and kind of feels like tearing things apart at the moment. So I feel like she's pretty much gung ho for wrecking shit if
Right,
that
yeah.
will not make us all die.
Yeah, Xeni is definitely, like, initially wary considering the magic is, like, so ancient. She's like, "No, don't destroy it." Like, I know the false Raven Queen's in charge right now, but it's really, like, historical preservation. I got a 12 on my history check, which isn't great.
That's not great. I think given Zenalia's experiences and giving her world context,
Mhm.
I think that instead of breaking it, what if you try to like cleanse it or
Ooh.
purify it
Sure.
or you know
Give it a
uh,
good flush.
yeah,
I think
I
it's been
mean,
corrupted. And what if we were to take the corrupted energy out of it and restore it to what it was always supposed to be?
Are you waiting for Xeni
Yeah.
character? That sounds like a
Oh,
great
sorry.
idea. I
Yeah.
I thought you
That's
were
okay.
having a
I
discussion
don't do
with the
a
man in the
different
sky.
voice for Zenny, so it's hard to know.
Yeah, yeah, I think that sounds like a wonderful, marvelous idea. How do we do this? Do we need to get some holy water? Do you need to shoot some radiant light at it? Um, or
Um,
should I try to talk to Paralis and see if he knows anything about moving power around?
that's a good question.
No.
Can I, like,
Okay.
smite the ground? Like, in the middle of the sigils that, like, we kinda got back together like a house,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
just,
you
like,
yes.
radiant damage, like,
You you
into
can
the ground.
smite just about anything, I think, so smite away.
Yeah, just send a
I
tidal
guess
wave of radiant light through.
yeah. I'm gonna walk back into where Odessa was sitting so that I'm kind of
Okay,
at, like, the epicenter of this room again, and
gotcha.
then, yeah, I'm just going to try and smite the ground, and I'll cast a 3rd level smite, like, I'll just go for it.
Odessa's dragging the bleeding brother figure out of your way, also, by the way, just
Okay.
in case it decides to like get up and try to fight you. Like it's
It
coming
is
with
something
me.
is happening to the body, but I will
Great.
touch on that in a moment.
Yeah, I wanted to keep a
Uh,
close eye on it. So
so describe what your smite looks like, and then roll that shit.
Yeah,
You hit. You definitely hit.
ground.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
ground.
yeah, I think that she takes, like, both ends, both, like, spiky ball ends of her flails, and uses them together, so she, like, doubles the chain and then just, like, takes it up above her head and, like you're, like, smacking something at like, the thing with the hammer at the carnival for it to,
yeah,
like, go up.
exactly what
Like,
I was
that's kind of,
thinking
like,
of.
the motion just, like, directly
Okay.
into the ground with all of the radiant energy she can muster to try to see if that, yeah, sends out, like, a shockwave of radiant light to cleanse the space. Um
Okay. All right.
so that like all
Roll
of
that.
my d8s.
All the d8s all at once. It's the most satisfying roll I have found.
It is a really satisfying
It's a
roll.
really satisfying roll. I think the D8 is underappreciated.
It is underappreciated. Uh,
I That's what I have out. All of my things use D8s too, pretty much.
yeah, that's 32. If it's the weapon damage, the improved divine smite, and then the 4d8 from the
Okay.
smite
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah. Yeah. So you key up and swing these
Mhm,
these morning star things, and they
mhm.
collide with what I guess this is probably stone,
Yeah.
or at least that's what the facade is. And
Mhm,
they definitely break through, and you see just this immediate like change in the color as that black raw miasmic energy from the Shadowfell is exposed, and there is a
mhm,
very loud crack and boom as that radiant energy flashes and blasts through, and you can see where it starts at the epicenter. It goes along the lines of the masonry and the brick, but
yeah.
then you see it fracture and fragment, and you can actually see parts of that weave sort of illuminated in the
Mhm,
facade.
yeah.
Uh, both of you, give me a perception check, Zenalia. You're dragging the body of your brother, and those little specks of fire, almost like, do you remember the little glowing worms from James and the Giant Peach?
Of course I
Uh,
do. Yes.
Imagine now the little specks of fire are actually doing that. They're kind of coming up out of the
And
weave, out
wiggling
of
their way
the
into my
worming,
peach.
and
Mm,
the form that you're holding is starting to calcify, with like this black, almost like carbon, just carbonizing on the outside. Like the form itself is taking on a carbon form.
yeah.
Um, what'd you get?
24
Yeah, and that was, what did I ask? Perception. Uh,
perception. Mhm.
You hear it at first, it sounds very far away, and then it does that thing where it gets way too close, way too fast. Is a
Yeah.
scream, a woman screaming, screaming bloody murder. Uh, both of you give me Constitution saving throws
Ah,
and Dexterity saving throws,
okay.
with the knowledge that you are going to fail the
Okay.
dexterity saving throw. We're just gonna see how hard the fail is.
That's fair.
Oh, okay.
I got
So I
a
got
13. Okay.
dirty 20 on my
Just
con.
okay, I got a
Okay.
13 on my con.
Okay.
And I not very good on my dex, 14. So
I got a 16.
16.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, cool. Neither one of those is like super impressive rolls, so I don't feel super bad about you failing. Uh, um, Zenalia, you're gonna take 25 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Uh, Meg, you're gonna take 12. As that shock, it's almost like hitting a trampoline, like when somebody bigger than you hits it
Mhm.
as you're coming down, because like the floor just caves in there, and
Mhm.
both of you feel this sudden sharp pull, like you've been yanked, like something, you had ropes around your ankles and you have just been yanked. You, Odessa, you can no longer hold on to the burning whatever brother thing, uh as you're both pulled and you're surrounded. You can see at first that radiant light, and you're pulled away, and you can see almost this like lattice framework, that looks kind of like a framed house,
Mhm.
of energy lines and barriers. um but then it very quickly becomes very, very dark, uh, and you both slam into the ground and are unconscious for a
Okay.
moment.
Okay.
You pick yourselves up. Odessa, your lantern would probably be out. You would have to relight it.
oh, okay.
And that is probably the only light that is there. You look around and you are in a very small room. It still looks like the same, it's the dungeon, but
Mhm.
much, much older. And I don't know what visual key to give you to tell you what that might be, but you can decide that for yourself. Uh, and you can hear very faint crying.
Oh no. From where?
Ooh.
In the corner of the room
Ugh.
is a feminine figure, uh, draped in ragged muslin sort of cloth. Uh, Her whole form is ghostly white. Uh, and as she turns to face you, you can tell it's a specter. Like you don't know, you don't think it's a person that's standing
Yeah.
there. This is the thing in the cartoon that they look like, oh, that's a ghost.
Ghost.
It
Yeah.
looks like a
Mhm.
specter. And
They're
I'm not going to say
ghosts.
ghost. I'm not going to say ghost specifically, as in it's a,
Mhm.
but it looks spectral.
Sure.
Mhm.
Uh, Zenalia, give me a history check with advantage. Odessa, give me a perception check.
It's a nat 20.
That's a 12. I'm glad we're balancing each
Sweet.
other out tonight.
Well, yeah, the dice have been
Mhm.
really like, oh, okay, I see what you did. I got this one. Like, yeah, that
Yeah.
was really nice. Good synergy. You can decide, Erica, what visual thing Zenalia has seen to give her this knowledge, be it old manuscripts or books or
Mhm.
paintings, something that her mother showed her, something that her
Mhm.
father showed her, something she discovered on her own. Whatever flavor makes your brain the good scratchy the best. Uh, it's the Raven Queen, the real one.
Oh,
And that's
shit.
where we're going to end this week, I think.
Wait,
Oh
like
my
the real,
god.
like original
Yes, the
one?
original, the
Okay, the
OG.
one that we know as the real one is an ancestor. Is that right? Or we don't know.
Wait, what? Ancestor?
I'm
To who?
We
asking the what in our knowledge currently there is the real Raven Queen who has been ousted from power by the false queen. So this
Yes.
real Raven Queen, is she an ancestor of the OG Raven Queen, or how does that work?
well,
This
we don't
one that you see here is the OG.
I
That's
yeah.
what
know.
Zana.
I'm
The
Yeah.
one,
asking you how the
Oh, I
real
think we
current
don't know
Raven
what
Queen is
happened.
related.
We don't know
we
what the false
know,
queen
yeah,
did with the we don't know what the false queen did with the OG Raven
yeah,
Queen, and
and
so
the
Mhm,
knowledge that was like with some of the stuff that Demetrius discovered and some of the stuff that we discussed with Zenalia is that the Shadow Fell was under the impression, and the Fae courts were under the impression that the Raven Queen had a sister,
mhm,
and the
Right.
sister is now the Raven Queen.
mhm.
So that's who the false queen is, would be the
Yeah.
sister.
We weren't
But
sure
that
what happened to the
yeah,
OG Raven Queen.
but the party has very little of that knowledge.
Yeah.
I guess I mean, how is so then is she the same person as Nocta that Demetra met?
Yes, this is
Okay.
that in character.
Yeah.
You
That's
didn't
what
see that
I'm
character, so you don't know what she looks like. But
right.
yes, it is that character,
Okay,
or at
that's
least
what I was asking.
a spectral form of that
Of
character.
her. Okay.
That's why I
Cool.
was wondering whether do we mean that she is dead? Because I didn't think she was dead because Demetra talked
Mhm.
to her, but that doesn't mean she isn't.
Right.
And death is often only a door,
Okay.
and especially in D&D. But yes, there's no knowledge that you would have, no context that you would have to suggest
Right.
that she's dead. But you also don't know what she looks like.
Mm.
And the one that Demetra saw had been cursed and looked like an owl, an owlin.
Right. Okay. So it's an
So
Right.
uncursed version of the
yes,
same character.
this is
Interesting.
the would be a high elf of the Winter Court. That's
Of the
who.
Winter
Was given the mantle of the Raven Queen. You don't
Okay.
have that knowledge, but I'm giving you that
Yes.
knowledge
Yeah,
out
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
know
outside.
I can look at her and see
Yeah,
that she's
yeah.
a high
That
elf.
that
And
she's
if
a high elf. Yeah.
are they colored particularly based on their court? Would
I
I be able to tell just by
so
looking she's of the Winter Court?
yes, probably because of the pallor, but also she's spectral, so probably not.
Okay.
Mhm.
Think, you could just
Yeah.
tell that
But
she's
would
a
I
high
might know
elf.
the
You'd know
do
she's
I
a
know
high
enough
elf.
about of the Fae history that if Zenny tells me that's the
Hmm.
Raven Queen, I know that she's a high elf of the Winter Court, or no?
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Cool.
And
Are
I
you
think
telling
that's a
me
good
that's who it
spot.
is?
I think that's a good spot to stop for this week.
I'm actually
Okay.
Right?
Wow. Yeah,
That's
that was big.
that's what you want, right?
Yeah,
Because
no, this is good.
because believably in my mind, like we could probably play another 30 minutes, but I don't know that anything meaningful and satisfying would come of it.
Yeah. No, that's
So
I like a cliffhanger. That's
I like a
good.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. Thank you. That was
All right, well
fun.
that's all I got. Thanks. What's coming up on Grimstone? We got May's Once Upon a One Shot coming up, right? Where's
Yes,
that this week?
that
It's
is
game
this
week.
May's once
weekend
upon upon
on
one. Yeah, that's
Saturday.
this weekend. Mhm.
Erica, do you
Yeah,
want
we're
I'm
to tell
playing in
them a
playing
that.
it.
little since you're playing?
Yeah.
Sure. We are playing, oh my gosh, what is it called? It is like a sci-fi addendum to is like the best word I can think of. To fifth edition. It is
Oh,
called
what?
Dark Matter.
That's right.
Um, yeah. And so there's a bunch of us playing. James Kessler is DMing. So that is very exciting. I have not actually played in a Once Upon a One Shot before, so this is my first time playing. And it'll be
Nice.
a great time. We're gonna do some space gallivanting. And I think some of us are gonna be like a little bounty hunting intergalactic duo. So tune in for that and space cowboy shenanigans.
Hell
Space
yeah, we love Space
Cowboy.
Cowboy shenanigans
Love
in these
space cowboy
games.
shenanigans.
See a Space Cowboy.
Next
I
week,
love a woman who can kick my
Tales
ass.
from Ascensia is back. with an Odessa prequel, a prequel from Odessa's early life, way back at level 3. Katie's going to be running that for us, and maybe Michael can. I don't know. You wouldn't still be level 3 if you were my druid master, but maybe there's a way we can work that out. I don't know. Anyway,
I'll chat with Katie, see what she says.
yeah,
See what she has in mind.
we'll see about that. So anyway, come back next week for a flashback from the life of Odessa. We've seen a lot of flashbacks into Demetra and Vigo's past, so it's time for Odessa to relive some of her earlier memories. And then in 2 weeks, we're back here for Ascensia again. And then on June 9th, coming up, that's a couple weeks from now, but that's the start date for our next tabletop turntable track, which is going to be Deathmatch Island. Yay! As we mentioned, I think last week, but it is even more officially happening now. We are going to be collaborating with Fantastical Geographic to create some game adventuring within one of their amazing locations and utilizing their travel magazine full of events and NPCs to
so
flesh out a
fun.
world.
That's so neat. I'm mad jealous that I didn't come up with that idea.
I know. Like honestly,
That's such a good idea. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant.
Love it.
So shout out to Fantastical Geographic already. We're very excited. So keep your eyes peeled for that. As always, if you want to get involved, join our Discord. There's a link in the video description. That's where all of our games and opportunities are posted. Yeah, and then, just like stuff, subscribe and whatnot, all the algorithm things.
We have merch.
Oh yeah, we sell merch on ttrpgswag.com. Yeah, and we have a Patreon. So if you like what we do and you want even more stuff, you want behind the scenes stuff, Stars and
Artwork.
Wishes sessions, monthly game artwork, things like that, go check us out on Patreon, Grimstone Gaming Group.
All right. Well, thanks so much, players, and thanks for hanging out if you're watching. And thanks for watching us in the future, because we know we get a lot of our views from posterity, and we appreciate it. For Erika, Margaret, and myself, may the dice be ever in your favor and never stop playing. Have a good night.
Night.
Bye.